This was a fun game last night. Heat took a lead tail end of the first quarter, held on to it throughout, built at some point a 26-point lead. James Johnson, one of the best athletes in the league, says he can roundhouse kick a basketball that's jarred in the rim. He was a Taekwondo expert. Wow. That's a true story. Roundhouse kick a basketball out of between the rim and the backboard.
I'd love to see that. Same game, Marcus Smart skies high to make an incredible block on Bam Adebayo.
Man, he's way above the rim. Marcus Smart, one of them intangible things. That's what the coach always says. He doesn't always equate the stuff in the stat sheet, but, man, they need him. This is how the Celtics hit their season turned around with plays like that.
Second most fired up he was all night. Compare that and the little dispute with Marcus Morris.
Spurs Thunder, DeMar DeRozan drives baseline and throws down the dunk.
Now, this was a basketball game, America. National television, a little double OT. LaMarcus goes for 56. Russell's got 24 assists. This was a fun basketball game last night. DeRozan.
Moving on, Clippers Nuggets. Nikola Jokic grabbing the defensive rebound, making a perfect full court pass to Jamal Murray.
He's one of the best in the league. It's got a soft touch, but the vision, anticipation right here. Now, look, watch this. Anticipating. He sees the guy out on the three. Doesn't bring both hands together on it. Ball doesn't even touch the ground.
He says, hey, Wes Unseld, you would do a little two-hander. I'm going to do a one-hander.
Yeah, two-hand overhead chest pass, Wes Unseld. Louisville's finest.
Louisville's finest,
Wait, check this one out. College hoops. Murray State's Ja Morant looking like
over the
classic Vince Carter. Boom.
Now, you got to move your chin. You got to move your chin either up or down. You can't, no, that's not a good look there. Hey, man, you're in an era that's not going to ever disappear. Man, you'll be getting your car fixed, and dudes be like, hey, you're that guy that got yammed on.
Man, something like that ended Frederick Weiss's career when Vince Carter did him like that in the Olympics.
Yeah, you can't go to the barbershop and get your hair cut, man. You're going to have to get a fro.
Yeah,
you're going to grow some hair. That's nasty.
So I didn't get that reference.
That's embarrassing. Well, you don't want to go back into the barbershop. They talk a lot of trash in the barbershop.
Right, so
he's going to grow an afro. He's not going to get his hair cut, so his hair is going to grow. Like a chia pet.
Don't worry about it.
8 steps there. Hey, moving on to Nick Foles. He and the Eagles head down to New Orleans trying to win their 5th straight playoff game. So the last time these two teams played, the Saints absolutely demolished them 48-7. That was then. This is now. That's how time works. Then Nick Foles was still on the bench and their playoff push had not begun. Now Nick Foles is behind center and his teammates are making him shrines. All right, Nick, how do the Eagles pull off the upset here?
Only Jenna Wolfe knows how time works, doesn't know how the barbershop works. All right, so...
Good, let that marinate in that little joke.
All right, so how can the Eagles pull off the upset? That was the question. Sorry, I was getting my line ready. Somehow get some type of pressure on Drew Brees and don't let Alvin Kamara ruin your day. I don't know what they're going to do with Michael Thomas. I'm just going to be totally candid here. I'm trying to think about the boxes they have to check. Pressure on Drew Brees. I think it's possible. Teron Armstead's been dealing with an injury the last quarter of the season. You've got a great defensive front. I think that's doable. Dealing with Alvin Kamara, you're going to have to dedicate a lot of your game plan to Alvin Kamara if you're going to deal with him, because I don't think you leave Malcolm Jenkins out on an island on him like we saw in their first matchup. But I think that's possibly doable. But then there's still another factor you're going to have to deal with. That's Michael Thomas. And that one I haven't solved, which is one of the reasons I said about 10 minutes ago, I'd be very surprised if the Eagles can pull off this upset. Now, that's one side of the ball. The other side of the ball, I'm going to pull a Chris Carter. I need 6 big plays from Nick Foles in the passing game. 6. I need 6 plays of 25 yards, whether you're throwing it up and hoping like we've seen some, or a Darren Sproles busting coverage, a little wheel route where he hits him over the top. Something where you have big chunk plays that turn a drive where you don't have good field position.
Because you have to try to attack the secondary. You have to try to look at the middle of the field, go against those Saints safeties, and Eli Apple. You have to try to attack his psyche because he's 2 different football players. He didn't have a good career start there with the Giants. Wasn't good off the field in the locker room. Sean Payton loves Ohio State guys. I think he's got 6 Ohio State players on that team, 3 other in that secondary playing there with him. He went there, instantly started playing a lot better. But there are times where the New York Giants Eli Apple creeps into the body of Eli Apple in a Saints uniform.
He does a bad job of having a short memory as a corner.
Yes.
Right? So like one bad play for Eli Apple can beget another and beget another. That's what you're saying with 2 different football players.
Especially in the pressure of the playoffs. Every play is bigger in your mind. The hype is bigger. When you're going to have that crowd involved in the game, especially going in, they know they're going to attack Eli Apple. So I believe his overall psyche, ability for Nick Foles to be able to get the ball to his side of the field to different wide receivers, that is the whole key for me in the Philadelphia's getting the win against the Saints.
And I understand that, but is there an argument to be made for maybe trying to run the little ball more or just trying to keep Drew Brees and this offense off the field as much as possible?
It doesn't keep them off the field if you go 3 and out. And the only way, to me, I would only be running in this game to set up the pass. I would only be running in this game to set up a play action or to set up my RPO where I know it's really only the P in the RPO. Like I'm doing the pass option in this because I just don't, A, the Eagles struggle to run against average run defenses. And B, to Chris's point, early in the year, I was skeptical of the Saints run defense numbers. Like, well, they're jumping out on big leads. Maybe that's why teams are
I just meant people in America. I didn't mean you.
But I'm going to talk about me.
Yeah, America knows I pick on you enough.
Yeah, that's fine. But even if you think that, well, one of the reasons they're so good against the run is teams abandon the run, just look at the Saints against the run on a per carry basis instead of total yardage. Just how many yards per rush. They're top 6 in the NFL in that as well. So however you slice it, this Saints front's been very good against the run, and however you slice it, the Eagles offense, they're 28th in the league running the ball.
Yeah, Jenna, you do make a good point as far as you've never told me, Chris, that they have to throw the ball to be able to run. But I believe that Doug Peterson and one of your guys, Darren Sproles, with him being healthy, that's one of the other things that was different than the first meeting that they're going to do. Get Sproles involved in the passing game, especially the screen game. The Eagles, one of the best in the league, offensive line, very, very athletic, can get him out in space. So you can run a number of screens, high percentage. It's just like running the football. So there's other ways to be able to control the clock, but a lot of that, it goes through St. Nick. If they're not building a shrine to St. Nick in New Orleans, they got no chance to be able to win this game.
And I want to, for each of these games this week, and I'm going to try to bring up one name that people know but that we haven't talked a lot about. In the first game, it was in Ndamukong Suh. Marcus Davenport. Marcus Davenport for the New Orleans Saints. They traded 2 first-round picks to move up and get him. He played well early in the year, and then he suffered a toe injury. Back in Week 17, had a half a sack. Marcus Davenport is a guy. He, along with Cam Jordan, they got bookend pass rushers there. We know how well the Eagles did against Khalil Mack, against Aaron Donald when they faced him, against J.J. Watt. They've got 2 guys to deal with in this football game. I want to see how they deal with that to try to give Nick Foles the time to take the shots we're talking about.
All right, let's talk some Tom Brady on the other side. Can Phillip Rivers get his first win ever against Tom Brady this weekend? That's next on First Things First.
You're growing as a broadcaster.
I know.
Hey,
You're such a smart
I'm going to pick out some.
I knew he was going to say
it's
that.
It's really just to let you know how smart I am because I know you guys.